Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel. This is Bookish Artist Mandy here, and I am here with a new pen. Surprise, surprise. Surprising anyone? No. BENU so kindly reached out to me about this pen, and I was so excited because I had mentioned to them when they first announced this Northern Gold pen how much I was in love with it. But at that time, it just had a solid gold nib, and they finally released it with a plated steel that is gold, and I'm very excited for you to see this. Now, I may have cheated a little bit already. This is already inked and I've already opened it, but this box is a little bit different than what their pens normally come in. They normally come in this really beautiful white box that has paper grass in it, and it's just beautiful and very, very eco-friendly. But this box is an experience, and so I wanted you to experience it with me. Because hear that? That's magnetic. I'm so excited for you and me, mostly me. Look at it. So this is the BENU Talisman in the Northern Gold. Is that not just, on camera, is that not just lovely? Like, just lovely. Amber resin, and I just love it. We're going to talk about more when we get into the pen test and everything about why I was so in love with this pen. But it comes with your normal standard, well, it's not a standard size. They have these really long cartridges that have Diamine Oxford Blue, which I now hang on to and sometimes ink a pen with because I do like it. I used to throw them away. Silly me. Silly me. Okay. It comes with the product and warranty information, which is just beautiful. It has instructions if you need it. I love that. And then it came with this. I actually haven't opened this. Okay, I just love this box. I just love this box. I want to keep it in this box when I'm not using it. Okay, I'm being silly. But it came with this little envelope. How cute is that envelope? I'm going to set that right back in there. And what is this? Oh, look at that. Okay. Northern Gold fountain pen from BENU Talisman collection. Inspiration and substance added to the material of the pen is amber. So one of the things that I have always loved about BENU pens is that when they have a pen like this, they add stuff to their resin. So I've had a couple pens where they've added tea leaves. Their Edelweiss one I know has a stone in it. So this one has actual amber in it, which is so just, so cool. And the spiritual and cultural symbolism, good health, wisdom, and good fortune. I love this. I want to sit and read all about it, and I will. I will definitely read even more about what this inspiration was, but we are going to read the first paragraph, and then I'm going to get into why I loved it. Amber, often called the Northern Gold, has captivated human hearts for millennia, not because it sparkles like crystal, but because it glows with the warmth of ancient sunlight. Unlike traditional gemstones, amber is not a mineral, but a fossilized tree resin, preserving within it whispers of prehistoric forests and memories of a vanished earth. Legends tell of this golden substance as a gift from the gods and a talisman of protection, healing, and eternal memory. So then it's going to go into more of that. I think that is awesome. They talk about, they have a little bit of this on their website, but how cool is that? I've had a couple of my other pens that came with this. My Hot Toddy came with one of why they named it Hot Toddy, and it came with a recipe. And I know that my Lady of the Incas came with one of these informational little pamphlets. I love when they do this. This is just I love when I have a little inspiration, and I'm definitely going to enjoy reading all of that. But I only wanted to share that in case you decide to buy it. It's an experience. So you get that. And here is the pen. Now, I'm really excited about because all of my other BENU size 6 nibs, they're the Schmidt nibs, have been in a silver, and this one is a plated gold. I was really excited about this. This one and then the and the Golden Sands have it. And I am looking at you, Golden Sands. I still really want you. Yes, I do, but I will be okay. At least for now. I definitely am very grateful for this pen because I saw it and it was one that I personally don't love the softness of like 14 karat gold nibs. And so sometimes I kind of shy away from them. If I learned how to use them correctly, I probably would, but there's like a really specific reason for me why this pen speaks to me so much, and we're going to talk about it. So this is my Endless Regalia recorder. If you watched the last couple of my pen videos, I have been recording my new pens in here. And I'm also I'm also starting to record other pens, but this is what I've been doing. The Regalia paper is a little bit finicky, but I really like it, especially for inks. But I do recommend that if you're using this paper, you definitely use a blotter or some kind of pencil board, because if your oils get on it, it doesn't work very well. I actually want to stick, I love that it comes with this too, the guider sheet. So I'm going to stick that underneath there. I like to have my guidelines, but I also like the plain paper, especially when I'm sketching. And we're going to be doing a little bit of that today with this pen. So I already took a picture of it, and this was printed out with my Canon Ivy. I seriously love that thing. I just do. It's so great. I even tried a little border because I thought that would be cute. So I'm going to place that here, and it looks like I can do this right here. So I've been putting in pictures of all my pens now, and then I'm going to write New Pen Day quick with the pen so you can see how it works, and then we're going to talk about what it's inked with and get into it a little bit more. So New Pen Day. I'm going to use just a simple serif. I've gotten so into fonts lately and lettering. It's so much fun to like look up letters and practice them. And I've done that, but it's just I've been doing it more and more lately. And fountain pens, lettering with fountain pens is so much fun, especially when you get these really cool inks where the ink pools in different places. Yeah. So I've had this a few days, and I haven't used it because I was waiting to use it until I filmed, but oh my goodness. Like always, this is a fine nib, not like always, but like always is such a smooth writing experience. Just love my BENUs. I'm sure you all know this because I just talk about my BENUs all the time. They are definitely an everyday carry for me. And the Talisman, so the Talisman, fun fact, the Talisman model was my first model of a BENU, and I got it in a broad nib. I got the Cat's Eye Talisman in a broad nib. I got it on a sale because I loved the look of BENUs, but I was still new into fountain pens and wasn't sure that I wanted to really spend the money, but I kept looking at those talismans. The Edelweiss was the one that I really wanted, but Cat's Eye was on sale and I wasn't sure that I'd like it. So I got it, and it was a broad nib, and I didn't realize how broad the BENU Schmidt nibs are. And so it was one that I didn't use as often as I wanted to, but I loved the pen regardless. And had I known that I could swap the nibs, I probably would have a lot sooner. But that's okay. You live and learn. And I do love BENU's Schmidt broad nibs. It's just that they're not an everyday writer. Like my favorite nib for a BENU is the medium. And then I also love the fine. So I inked this up with Octopus Baroque 1920 Charleston. This is a newer ink, and I absolutely love it. I just got this sample from Vanessa last week or earlier this week, one of the two. I can't quite remember, but I love it. And I'm going to do a nice swatch because I haven't tried it on regalia paper yet. I only tried it on Midori paper. So this has, I was going to do diamine amber, which makes sense, you know, for an amber pen. But this has such beautiful, bright and bold and interesting, and I got a piece of my hair because my hair's so long, bright and bold and interesting shading. And I thought it matched the shimmer in this pen so much better. And I'm in love with this so much that I went back and bought a bottle because I still have half my sample, but I knew I was going to love it. And it's going to be, right now, for right now, it's going to be in semi-permanent pairing in this pen because how perfect is that? Like, so perfect. So, if you have an amber pen, this is a beautiful color. I don't know if this octopus one is a newer, but Vanessa didn't even have a picture of it in like their normal sample way. So it could be a new one, but don't sleep on it because if you like these orangey ambers, it really reminds me of yellow ochre, and that's one of my favorite colors. So just letting you know. So this is 1920 Charleston. And this is a BENU Talisman. With a fine nib. And it is called Northern Gold. Okay, so who here among you can remember that really cool scene from that really cool movie called Jurassic Park? I don't know if you remember that scene with the little, is it the mosquito or the firefly or the dragonfly? I don't know, but it's trapped in that amber resin. Okay, so I have grown up with the Jurassic Park movies. I have enjoyed them. I mean, when you're a product of when you are a product of being raised in the 90s, I was born in the 80s, but raised in the 90s because I was young in the 80s. You remember that stuff. And Jurassic Park was such a 90s thing. However, it has come back. And I am very much so into whatever my kids are. My father, he was always somebody who would support my goals, my dreams, my hobbies. He bought me my first computer. He bought me all my art supplies. He bought me my first sewing machine that I eventually I ran a business for 7 years making clothing from my basement. And he bought me the sewing machine that I started that business with. So I have been I've always said, no matter what I am as a parent, I want to support my children's love for whatever passion they're into. And I support myself in that. And pens are a big passion for me. So my son, he is now 7 years old. And I'm going to start drawing while I'm talking, but when he was, when I was pregnant, we weren't sure what we were going to name him. And my husband would joke that he was going to name him Pterodactyl. And I was like, no, we are not naming our kid Pterodactyl. He goes, yeah, come on, Terry for short. And it was a huge joke, but we all kind of laughed about it and ha 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 ha. You know what you do when you're pregnant and can't come up with a name. And one of my favorite shows is Grey's Anatomy. I don't know if I've talked about that much on here in a long time, but one of my favorite characters from the show. It's season 7 or 8. I think it's 7, maybe. One of the seasons. One of the characters, Teddy, she ends up with a guy named Henry. And I loved that character. And he doesn't last long on the show because if you fall in love with a patient, that patient is not going to live. Grey's Anatomy 101. Sorry, Teddy. And sorry for spoilers. The show is like literally on season 20, so, or 22. I don't know. I stopped watching after they got rid of April Kepner. But anyway, one of the things, I loved his arc, and I loved the story between him and Teddy. It was so cute. It was just such a beautiful love story. And one day I was watching it while I was pregnant. I was like, hey, so what about Henry? Do you like Henry? So we named him Henry. Come to find out, Henry is the name of, Indiana Jones. And my younger son is Harrison. So, I've named both of my kids after Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones. Here you go. You're welcome. Did not do that on purpose. But I love the names nonetheless. Okay. So anyway, Henry, my mother-in-law is very much so into quilting. Not just into, I think that's like her entire personality is making quilts. And my boys love her quilts, but it has started since the beginning. Since the beginning of their lives, my mother-in-law has been all about making them quilts. And the first quilt that she ever made for my son was a dinosaur quilt. And my son, at 7 or 8 months, was sitting on this quilt. And the first word he ever said was roar. I kid you not. My son's first word was roar, and he has been obsessed with dinosaurs his whole life, literally pretty much his whole life. And he still is at almost 8 years old. He talks about wanting to be a paleontologist and just all of these things. And so I have learned a lot about dinosaurs through the years. Anything dinosaur, I always say anything dinosaur adjacent, my son loves. So he loves birds because birds are dinosaurs. Okay, they are dinosaurs. And don't try to argue with him because he will tell you all about everything because he knows. And just all of these crazy things with him. And I love to think about having meaning and story, especially with the things that I love. And I saw this pen and thought, oh my gosh, Northern Gold and amber pen. How great would that be? So now I have been dealing with dinosaurs my whole life, or not my whole life, but my son's whole life. He loves dinosaurs. He loves learning about anything. He's very, very curious. And goodness gracious, my whole life is Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. And all I can think about is that scene with the amber stone. And I always loved that scene, and I always loved the amber. Well, I just needed this pen to remind me of all of that. And how funny is it that, it all came from a joke. I feel like it all came from a joke of my husband's, that he was going to name his kid Pterodactyl. And then my son is mad that we didn't name him Pterodactyl because he loves dinosaurs. He also loves, like I mentioned, dinosaur adjacent things. And so we take him to the zoo all the time. And he loves the Komodo dragon, which is exactly why I have this, which is the Platinum 3776. This is the only platinum I have, and the only platinum I will have, because it's not love. I don't love it, but I do love the meaning behind it because it's Sands of Komodo. And we watched a documentary about Komodo Island. So my son has always loved the Jurassic Park World movies. And it was just like, oh, he was so excited when I showed him too. I said, look at honey, look at this amber, like this pen. And he goes, that's a fossil pen. So this is my fossil pen. and I'm very excited about having it as a fossil pen, as a memory, as that kind of thing. And what I love is that it has fossil in it. And how cool is that? And so the thing about this is that I love the stories that BENU uses to inspire themselves. And crazy enough, on top of everything, I already knew this pen was coming. And I had the tracking, and we took my son and his friend to the new Jurassic World movie. Very actually scary compared to the Jurassic World trilogy. This Rebirth is definitely nodding back to the horror, and it was quite scary for me. Not for my son. He was rooting for the dinosaurs, as he always has. He was upset that some of the people didn't get eaten because everybody was supposed to get eaten. But one of the main characters in the movie, Jonathan Bailey played him, is named Henry, and he was the paleontologist. And my son was so excited because he's the paleontologist. And there is a line in the movie, and this really isn't spoiling anything, but there is a line in the movie where the paleontologist Henry says that he would like to die in a river of silt because that's the best way to get fossilized. So now my son wants to get buried in a river of silt. I kid you not. This is my son. And so, yeah, I'm very excited to have this pen, and looking at this ink, it is so perfect. And I every time I get a new pen, I talk about how much I love their pens because they are doing something different. It's not just like, so don't get me wrong. I have my Twisbies. I have my, my Cafeco Sports and everything. I am not necessarily like a expensive all the time pen girl, but I really love when a pen can have a meaning behind it. And when that meaning connects with me, like the London one, which is right here because I use it every day. When the London one connected with me in that way, this one even more so connects with me. So it's almost like I have a piece of me when I'm writing a piece of me, so it's this wonderful thing. And I just, as you can see, this fine nib is great. I colored this, I drew this, and it's just, you can see that this pen will keep up with me. It is smooth right out of the get-go. I have so many BENU pens now, and I can tell you that I have never had a nib have an issue. And maybe somebody else has, but I haven't. And I have quite a few pens. And I know that with BENU, they take care of you too. If something were to happen, I would just have to send them a message. But nothing has happened so far, knock on wood, because, this is yet another pen where nothing has happened. But the Talisman, I'm going to say comparatively, because I will take off their caps, because I don't, like you can see even with the caps, the Euphoria is much larger. Even with the cap off, it is much larger. The grip section, I feel like the grip section, and I'm gonna test it while we're here. Why not? Okay. I feel like the grip section is pretty much the same. This little section right here. And it is. I bet you I could put this Talisman grip section right into the Euphoria. And I can. Okay. I'm not going to twist it all the way because I can. But so I didn't know that. That was the first thing. That's the first time I've ever tried that. So now I want to go take all my Talisman, because this is my third Talisman. But you can see like the nibs are like move aroundable, but so are the nib sections. Fun. I didn't know that. Look at the things that you find out about your favorite pens when you use them. Okay, so I'm going to put this back in. They can be eyedroppered, which is fantastic. I love that. But I usually like with these to use the converter just because it makes it much cleaner to clean out and everything. But this is slightly shorter. Like the grip, I think because they are the same. I love the grip on BENUs. This one's just a little bit heavier, not much, and it's longer. So it's not much, but there is a difference in feel when you're writing. And I don't mind my Talisman posted. You can post the Euphoria, but this is too much for me. So to know that, like I prefer, I don't know why I prefer the Euphoria to the Talisman. I think it's because that slight heft is really nice, but I also love Talisman. I can sit and write with this all day, and I have. So it's just a matter of what do you like more? And yeah, this is my new pen and the meaning behind it. I really need to find a pen that reminds me of my other son. The thing I think about with my two sons is they are very, very different children. And my oldest son is very much so like me. He is really into drawing and art and dinosaurs, and he is so passionate about his love of things, and you can't help but want to know more about dinosaurs because he wants to. So we go to the library and we get books, and I can say things like Compsognathus because we have learned that. And if you pronounce the word wrong, he will correct you. And so it's just really fun. I was able to meet a paleontologist a couple years back at Lightbox, which is an animators conference or an artist, like just a big art conference for people in the entertainment industry. And the paleontologist, he was giving a lecture, but he drew a picture of a T-Rex for my son and said to the future paleontologist. And so this is just kind of part of my thing. And so now I really want to find a replica of the Jurassic World amber piece. And so I can have it next to this, but it really does. It looks like amber. It looks just absolutely beautiful. And I am very excited to have it in my collection. It is different color-wise than my other BENUs, and I can show you my other yellow ones just so you can see the difference. It is very much so. This is beautiful, and I do think Diamine Amber would also look beautiful with this. And I just want to say, BENU can get it right when it comes to yellow pens. I'm obsessed. This one is my Hot Toddy Euphoria, right here. So you can see that the amber is much darker than the Hot Toddy, which is definitely more of like the bell dress yellow gold. And again, I could put the Charleston octopus in here. And then my newest Euphoria, not my newest, but my second newest yellow Euphoria, but my yellow Euphoria is right here. And that is the lemon sorbet. So you can see that. And then this one, I did pull this one out because it's got the rose gold flecks in it. And it does have a gold nib. As you can see, it's used quite often. I've had to refill this multiple times. It still has Sailor 173 in it because I love it. But this one is oranger and more apricot peachy. And the orange resin is different. So it's definitely one on its own. It's unique and I love it. And it's got so much depth in that resin there. Fossilized tree resin is amber. So it just kind of feels, it's special. It is very special. And I think that even with just the steel nib is a special pen. However, this one, you do have the option of getting a 14 karat gold nib from BENU's website. And this one, so these three are BENU exclusive on their website. This one is a Gold Spot exclusive. I don't even know if they have this one in stock anymore, but it's a Gold Spot exclusive. These are exclusive on their website. And the link is down in the description. But this one is just, I can't stop looking at it. It is so lovely. And I definitely have been loving coming up with reasons why a pen speaks to me, because I want to know that I'm picking a pen that speaks to me in some sort of way as I'm doing these things. Like this one spoke to me in this way. The lemon sorbet spoke to me just because it reminds me of summer and lemons and happiness. And hot toddy spoke to me. Hot toddy reminded me of Belle from the I was going to say The Little Mermaid because Little Mermaid's my favorite, but Belle from Beauty and the Beast. I like looked at this pen for literally 2 months before I bought it because I had to have it. And I am not sad at all that I have it. So the same, yeah. And with the London pen, when I figured out what spoke to me, this pen is what made me really want to start thinking about that, because I know that they're speaking to me in some way, but why are they speaking to me? So that's something. If this pen is speaking to you, can you tell me down in the comments why it's speaking to you? What about it? Because I wonder if there's other reasons why an amber pen would speak to people, because it's clearly a popular stone or resin or something that has been for many, many, many millennia in history has been something that speaks to people. So I'm curious why it would speak to you. So also, if you're a huge Jurassic Park fan, let me know. Anyway, that is about it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to BENU for building into my story that I am, growing as a human. I appreciate it so much. They are just lovely. They're just such a lovely company to work with and fill my life with. So I will see you in the next one, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.